Morning. Good morning. Debbie here from Love Your Flower Garden Community. Today we're going to do a vase, how to fill a vase with flowers, your favourite flowers. So I don't know if there's anyone here yet. I'll wait a few minutes. Oh, that's it. A few people coming on live now. Thank you very much. Who's that? Is that? Oh, Natalie. Hi, Natalie. This is the one you wanted, wasn't it? Good. I'm glad you're watching. Morning. Hope you're well. Morning, Paul. Who else have we got? We've got 4 viewers. Type your name in or give me a wave if you're there. Let me know that you can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay? Morning, Karen. Morning, Anne. A few people coming in now. Who else have we got? Mum. Can see your little picture. Morning. I'm rubbish at this. Need to know how to arrange a vase. Okay, all right. Well, we're doing it especially for you because you were the one that asked for it the most. And a few other people have asked for it as well. And it did get quite a lot of votes when we did the poll, didn't it? So, morning, Jennifer. So we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go today and see how we get on. Morning, Anne. Morning, Sean. See, your name's very good today. Cindy, morning. I couldn't give you the answer to your question the other day, Cindy, because it was too rude. So you know what I'm talking about. So I really couldn't have put it on there, otherwise I got booted off Facebook. I don't know how actually you got it through. So yeah, so less said about that. And you did get booted very quick. So, right, we'll get started and then we'll just say hello to people as you go. Can you all hear me okay? Someone give me a thumbs up, you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes? Thumbs up? Good. Thank you. Lovely. Okay, right, so let's get started. So, what we need to do a good arrangement of flowers in a vase, you need a structure of foliage, basically, and that's what you kind of feed your flowers through. It's a bit like doing a hand tie, but in a vase. So, what we need is some foliage. I've got 3 different types of foliage here. Because it's Christmas, I always use the ivy foliage. I use this for everything, and it's free. For me, it's free. There's loads of it here where I live. And I'm going to use a little bit of Christmas tree as well. Cypressus, not cypressus, pine, Norman fir. This is one. I've got a Christmas tree. I always cut Christmas trees up this time of year. Morning, Jennifer. So I use a lot of this in arrangements and wreaths and everything. So you know, there's a little bit of that. And I've also got some aspidistra leaves. Now these are variegated aspidistra, obviously 2 different colours. I got them from my local garden centre. They sell flowers there. They didn't have any green ones. I probably would have preferred green ones, but these are quite nice. They're the variegated ones. A little bit more expensive. If you grow the actual plants of these, they're quite hard to grow. Well, harder than the green ones to grow anyway. And we're going to use some of those as well. So we've got the 3 different types of foliage. I'm going to manipulate the leaves, so I'm going to bring them into like roly-poly shapes. Morning, Dolores. So we get a nice little round shape like that. All you need is your trusty stapler. So you're literally just doing a roll and you want to make sure you're stapling through. And if you go at an angle, don't go straight ways because otherwise you're in the veins of the leaf, and then it will just uncoil. So just do 2 or 3 in the middle, crossways. I don't know if you can see that. So crossways. and that gives you a nice curl. So just curling it round, tucking it in and stapling. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So you get a nice curl. We use these a lot when we do hand ties as well. Morning, Rosie. We do these a lot when we do hand ties as well, and they can go around the edge of the vase or around the edge of your hand tie. So maybe we'll do 5 of these, see. So you're just rolling it, stapling it across. If you do 3, hopefully it'll keep. Look at that one, look, it's exactly half and half. So nature is wonderful. It gives you lots of lovely, lovely leaves. I love foliage. Really big fan of those. So we've got our 5 curly leaves as well. Morning, Geraldine. Okay, so we've got those as well. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to prepare my flowers as well first. So we're going to use, I've got 2 different types of roses. I've got some deep pink roses and I've got some pale pink roses. And I've also got some gerberas, some sort of creamy, buttony yellow, I suppose you'd call them. And I've got some antirrhinums as well. All right. So all of these flowers have to be, you have to strip all of the leaves, everything above where you're going to put the water. So just strip them all. This is a rose stripper which you can get. I use it for most things, but it's great for roses because it actually holds the stem, and you pull down and strip all the leaves off. Very handy Valentine's Day. And you've got about 5,000 roses to do. So literally just strip, obviously if you haven't got one of these, just get a knife and cut off all the, little knife, I'll do the next one with a knife. Just cut off all your leaves with a little knife or a pair of scissors. These ones don't actually have any thorns. Some roses have thorns, some don't. At Valentine's they all seem to have them. The really big-headed roses, these are quite nice big-headed rose, but the bigger the head, sometimes the more thorns that you have. See, this one's got a few thorns on it, so just get rid of the leaves first, and then just with your knife, just slice them off gently. Don't go too deep into the vein of the stem, because see, this one's got quite big. So literally just cut them off, just gently, or use your rose stripper if you've got one of these. This one's a bit thorny. I'm going to use the stripper all the way down. Morning, Luke. Morning, I love Anne. Right, so we've got all of our foliage. Sorry, all of our roses. We've got all of our foliage ready. We've got our gerberas. Now, 2 of these I've already wired, but I will quickly wire them again just to show you. We have done this before. You want your florist wire. You literally just tuck it into the head of the flower. Just push it from the front. So hold it from the hold the top with your thumb and your finger. Push it in gently. Hold it at the top and just twist down the stem. Alright. So just into the top. You won't damage the flower. This just absolutely supports it. And in a vase of flowers, if you haven't got much support from foliage, gerberas will actually wilt quite quickly. They're very prone to disease, gerberas. And you quite often see them with disease in the top, where if it's got a tiny little bit of water on there, they'll just go mouldy. So they're very fleshy flower. So we've got your 5 gerberas as well. And last but not least, the antirrhinums. And these, I'm just going to cut them down a little bit because they're very long. Let's cut them first, and then I'm going to use my strippers again, just to go all the way down. See how quick that is? So again, if you've got thousands of these, when you get them in from the wholesalers or from your flower delivery, sometimes you've got, you know, hundreds and hundreds of flowers to do. So these sort of gadgets save you a lot of work. All right. So that's all done. Morning, Mum. Okay, right, so So the first thing we need obviously is your vase, and you want to have your flowers roughly about 2/3 higher than the height of your vase. So I always say to people, get a bigger vase than you think you're going to need. Because what I find quite often, people, they just get a bunch of flowers from Tesco's or something like that, and then they literally just take a few of the leaves off and then just dump them in a vase. Well, the problem is the flowers won't be able to breathe, and this is why if you do it like this with a bigger, just treat yourself to a slightly bigger vase. You need one. This one's about 8 inches across. Okay, right. So we've got, as I say, I've got a few of these. Stems from the Christmas tree, the Norman fir, and all I've done is I've stripped all of the little pine needles from off the bottom. So if you've got a pair of florist scissors, tungsten scissors, you literally just scrape along here, getting rid of all the, I'll do this one to show you. So all of this needs to go, anything that's going into the vase needs to come off. So the quickest way is just to do it like this, scrape it with the scissors. Pull them off by hand, whatever's. Morning, Margaret. Morning, Ava. So just, that's how you get them all off. You want nothing going into the water. Saying that, she's just put all the pine needles in the water, so let's get rid of those. Right, so first of all I'm going to put some of the ivy stems in. Now I've literally just cut these, and again I've stripped all of the bottom, all of the leaves from the bottom, anything that's going to go into the vase. So just put about, I've got about 5 of these. This one's quite nice because it's got a few berries on the top as well, and it's not too drippy. The thing is with these berries, sometimes they're very top heavy, so they don't always work. And we're going to put in a couple of stems of the Christmas tree. Probably just 3 is probably plenty. So, and these will give you structure so you can sort of feed your flowers through. That's what you want to do. So go at different angles. So you've just got a vase. Morning, Sue. Morning, Justin. So you've got your vase with your flowers. I'm going to put one more in the middle. A longer one. Take the berries off this one because they're too top heavy. They're lovely for the wreaths, but for this purpose you don't want them. You don't want them all. Obviously just get rid of the nasty heads if you've got anything nasty. So that's just going to give you a nice structure to feed your flowers through. Okay, so you can see you do actually need quite a lot of foliage, and people, it's a misconception that you don't really need much, you just need the flowers. Well, you don't actually, you need quite a lot of foliage. So with this now we can start feeding through our flowers. So again, with your flowers, obviously you've given them a nice diagonal cut. You want as big an area, can you see that? As big an area as you can, especially with roses, so that they can drink. The bigger what I tend to do as well, just do one type of flower at a time. So I've got my dark pink roses first. So again, nice cut, and just feed them through. Don't worry too much at this stage. Just dot them around. But what you're using your flowers in the middle as a structure, just to fill and feed your flowers through, basically. So those are the roses gone in. Right, that was not gone in. There we go. So you've got your roses. I'm going to put a few of the aspidistra leaves in as well. I think we'll put 3 in the middle. Again, you're just feeding them through the other, and things stay where you put them then. If you feed them through, they will stay where you've put them, where you want them to be. So, can't really see it very well, but I'll just keep moving it around. So, you can see, and with those lovely variegated leaves, got a nice shape there as well. So, I'm going to do the antirrhinums next. So these obviously need a bit more cut off because they're quite tall. And then these have got a lovely, lovely, beautiful points on them. We like things with little points on. So just feed these through. And again, you're using either 3s and 5s because it just aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Feed them through. Go more in the middle. You see, and if you've got the flowers, if you've got the foliage in the middle, they stay exactly where you put them. And that really is the trick to arranging flowers in a vase. You need something to feed them through. All right, so we're going to put in some of the gerberas now. Again, these are pretty long. Nice diagonal cut again with the gerberas. And obviously we've wired these as well, so that gives them more structure as well. And you see they don't move. They actually just sit exactly where you want them. Okay. You can jiggle them about a bit afterwards. It's not imperative. What we could do as well, also put a little bit of, I'm going to over a little bit fast. I'm going to put a little bit of gyp in, just one piece of gyp. When you get gyp, you usually get it sort of in 5s and 10s, little bundles like this. And what happens is they all grow into each other. So literally, when you get a bundle, just shake them and get the one that's sort of on the outside, just shake. See that one? Hardly any flowers on that one stem. Shake them, pull them gently so you don't lose all the flower heads. See, that's the better one. 2. Just keep shaking them and pulling them gently so that they just fall apart from each other. You don't want to pull them, because if you pull them, you'll pull all the flower heads off. See, those two are having a little fight there. There we go. And last 2, just shake. Lovely. Right, so you've got 5 separate ones, and just pick the one that you think would look nicest in the vase. I think that one. Measure it up slightly. I'm going to use this in the middle. So I might use that funny little one that I had as well. I had this funny little one that didn't really have much. If you've got any labels or anything, make sure you take them all off, because they'll all just rot in the water. So there we go. That's giving it a little bit more filler. Gyp is a great filler in a vase. So you can see how you're getting a nice, morning mice, you're getting a nice full vase of flowers now. It's coming together. Sometimes one will go the wrong way, so just take it out and re-feed it through where you want it. There we go. Can you see that? The gerber's a little bit high, so he's going to go down a bit. Right, so we've got our other pink roses. We're going to put those in as well. So these are the pale pink ones. And again with these, just make sure you give them a nice diagonal cut. You want as big an area as possible for your rose to drink. And with these flowers, these roses as well, I don't know if you noticed, you get these funny little petals on the outside. And a lot of people don't like those. In the flower shop, they say, "Oh, get rid of those awful petals." But I actually quite like them. They're called weather petals, and when the flower is growing, they're the ones that protect the flower as it grows. Morning, Kerry. So once you've got them in the vase, if you think they look a bit tatty, you can just take them off. I personally quite like them, so I tend to leave them on, and they protect the flower and they give it some structure and shape as well. So feed these through. Sometimes it can be a bit tatty, the weather petals. But again, just make sure you give them all a very good diagonal cut. And if you keep turning it round, you want to see a nice mixture of flowers and colours. Again, you can feed through the sides as well. It's a bit like doing a hand tied in a vase, really. So just keep turning, just keep turning. I've got one more pink one. I'm going to put that there. So you can see you've got a nice full vase of flowers, and they can all breathe. Every flower head needs to have a bit of space around it to breathe. You don't want to just get your bunch from the supermarket or wherever you've got it from and just put them into a vase. They need to breathe. The bottoms need to breathe, stems need to breathe, and all of the flowers at the top need to breathe, and they will last you a lot longer. I promise you. I promise you that. So just keep turning. We've got our other 2 gerberas to put in. So again, give them a nice diagonal cut. We have one there. You can feed through the jip as well, because you've got the jip in there. That also adds another little structure. And just keep titivating it really till you're happy with it. Morning, Carol. So you see, you can get a nice full vase of flowers. I'm going to put, we've got a couple more, yeah, I've got a couple more leaves here, the ones that we did the aspidistras. I'm just going to put a couple of those in the top, just to fill in. So all the way around. In fact, I'm going to have one more because I've got a space around this side. I need one more leaf. So again, if you missed it before, you just pull the leaf around, do a nice little circle, get your stapler, and three little staples crossways, so they're not in the vein of the flower, because otherwise they'll just pull out again. And then I'm going to put this one down here. So these are nice for crowning the edge of the vase as well. If you want, you can put a few more around here if you wish to. I'll do that just for you, just to show you. So again, I missed a bit as the phone call came through. Thank you. It's absolutely stunning. That's all right. You can watch it again later. So I'm just putting a few more of these curled aspidistras around the edge, just to give it a bit of shape around the top of the vase. Some people don't like to see the top of the vase, they like it covered. So this is a great way to just feed them through around the bottom of the vase. You get to this stage, you've got a lot to feed it through, but just, if it won't go through one way, just go through a slightly different place. There we go. No, it doesn't want to go in that one. There we go. Alright, so there we go. Got a nice beautiful vase of mixed flowers. Lots of different colours. You might not like all these colours, but these are what somebody asked for today, so I'm going to be using them in a hand tied later. So I think I'll try and put our anti-rhinum in the middle. Give it a bit of a move around. So basically, that's it. You move, you can see all the way around. All of the flowers have got space to breathe and lots of different shapes and textures. So what you really need 2 or 3 types of foliage. At least 3 or 4 different types of flowers, and if you can get things like the aspidistra leaves and manipulate those. You can also do other things with the leaves. Another thing that I do sometimes, you can get a wire. This is a different type of leaf manipulation. You put the wire on the back of the leaf and put some tape on it. End of the tape, you can never find the end of the tape. So put your wire onto your tape. It's in the middle. It's a bit fiddly, this pop tape is really sticky. So you've got your wire on your pop tape, and you're going to stick this wire to the back of the leaf. That's the back. You don't want to see the tape. Just put it along the main stem of the leaf. Push it down really hard. You want it to really stick well. So all you've got is your wire underneath the tape of the leaf. Then you can do whatever you wish with the leaf. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So that's called leaf manipulation. And you could do lots of different ones of those and put those through the middle. So you don't actually need many flowers, you can just use lots of different leaves. Obviously you do have to buy these sort of leaves unless you've got a massive aspidistra plant. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually I'm going to treat myself to a nice aspidistra plant and do lots of those. So don't they look great? I love these. So you can either do the twirls, you can do twirls as well. Some people like to do the twirls. Let me show you. If I take these out, I really like this in under to show you. Take the staples out. Want to come out, but you can just do a twist like this as well. These are quite nice. Just do a twist, and again with your stapler, it's a bit more fiddly. But just go in. The good thing about these they're quite sturdy. So there we go. So you can do sort of little twirls like this. I haven't done that one very well. Let me see if I can do it a bit better. Good thing about these, they're just the bits just strip off. So like this, probably better. And you can just put one staple through the middle of it if you like, just to get a different shape again. Well, it's not going to stay, but you get the gist of it anyway. Just twist. But this is my favourite. This is my favourite with the wire. I think it's fantastic, and it just adds another dimension to your vase. So that's some little ideas. Obviously, you want to make sure as well you've got nothing, no rubbish in your vase. What you can do when you've finished, you can just hold all your flowers here. Just hold them in the middle, so you can see it's a bit like a hand tied in a vase. And just make sure, just go into your water. See how the water's got quite dirty now. See, so in an ideal world, you change that water for some fresh water, put your flower food in, and then put your flowers straight back in. Don't let go of them, because you've gone to all that trouble of arranging them. That's it, she says. Now she can't get them back in. One doesn't want to go back in. And that's it, basically. So I hope you enjoyed those. Another little idea. So when you get your Christmas flowers this year, make sure that you put them in a vase and you do a little bit of work, and they will last you twice as long. I promise you, they will last you twice as long. Now next week, obviously, I'm going to be doing my wreath courses, so I don't know if anybody else is interested in them. They're online courses and they're 1.5 hours, and I will go through the whole process of making wreaths. I've got quite a few people online now that wants to do it. It's £30 for an hour and a half. If you're interested, just click on the Facebook page. Just click on the top where it says Hearts, Interiors and Flowers on the green banner at the top of the group page, and that will click you into my Facebook page. And then you can just have a look, go down to events and see all, and it'll list any of the courses that I'm doing. So it's literally just 2 weekends. Next 2 weekends, in the morning are the wreath classes, in the afternoon is the table decoration classes. So they're all an hour and a half. If you'd like to sign up for those, please do. So I won't do a live next Saturday because I'll be busy doing those, but I will try and do a little video sometime during the week and put that on around this time, so at least you've got something to watch if you're not doing the wreath classes. Alright, so I hope that was good, and just thank you all again, obviously, for continuing to invite your friends. I'm really pleased with the way the group's growing, and if you can invite more friends, fantastic. You're all doing really good, and I'm glad that you're all participating. It's nice that you are all putting things into the group. But any questions that you've got, please just ask. If you ask online, if you ask in the group, because a lot of you are texting me and sending me messages personally, but if you put it in the group, then it answers it for everybody else as well, because somebody else might be thinking, oh, I'm not going to ask that question because it's a bit silly or whatever. No question silly. We're all here to learn. I'm learning. Every day I learn. Every day I learn something new, and every day we're here to learn, aren't we? Sean's put a little message. Is there anywhere you would recommend, I don't know if I can get that, anywhere you would recommend for fake plants, as I want some in my lounge. I don't really know many, to be very honest, Sean. I mean, I go to a wholesalers in High Wycombe that they do quite a large range of silk flowers, but they don't really do a lot of plants. Don't really know where you get fake plants from, really. You can have a look online, I suppose. I'm sure Amazon have got a selection, but probably don't want to hear that. But yeah, it's don't know where else you get them from, really. Need to probably just investigate online. I'll have a look. If I see anything, I'll let you know. I'll put a link on the site. But that's probably it for today. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a nice weekend and enjoy your flowers, and have a go yourself. Have a go. Use whatever flowers you've got from the garden, as I always do, because they're free. And if you haven't got them, start planning for next year. All the flowers that you need to grow in your garden, the pittosporums. I'm going to get an aspidistra plant now for the house, obviously, as I've just said I would. Hi Rosie. Hi Moira. How are you? I know why my flowers don't last long in a vase. Yeah. Your flowers need to have water around every stem, and then they will last. People just to say they just get a bunch and just put them in a vase, and they think that that's fine, and it will. They'll last, but they won't last you as long. And if you want to get the most life out of all of your flowers, you need to give them a bit of space to live. They're a living, breathing thing, and they need space, like we all need a bit of space now and again. We all need space, don't we? Okay, Sean. Alright, so I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to have a cup of coffee now because my hands are freezing. I've got my little heater on here, but it doesn't seem to be doing much. So have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you, those that are on the wreath making course, next week. If you're not on the course, I'll try and get a little video done for you, and obviously I'll be in touch before Christmas. Alright, see you soon. Bye.